My name is Matthew Lawrence, and I'm the sales manager at Direct Auto.
How did you first connect with Mike West?
How did I first connect with Michael West? Okay, so I had a friend, Dylan Wire. Been friends with him since high school, and I was in a position in my life where the job that I was doing was not fulfilling whatsoever. And pretty much I was looking around, I saw one of Dylan's pay stubs, and was pretty much like, tell me what I got to do to make that kind of money. So Dylan got me an interview, and the rest is history.
What was your upbringing like?
So I guess my upbringing, I'll say I definitely had a lot of people in my life that were very supportive. I did have a little bit of trauma growing up, with my dad and stuff. And I was kind of always that kid in school that wore the same clothes every day, didn't really have any like designer brand clothes, not necessarily designer brand, but like the big popular brands at the time. I was shopping at Kohl's or Marshall's, and I had the off-brand stuff. I didn't always have the newest pair of shoes until my grandma bought it for me because I begged her for it because all my friends had the latest and greatest stuff. I was always self-conscious about the house that I lived in, and that could be partly because of the friends that I had were kind of the upper echelon kind of kids, and they all had really nice houses, and their parents had really nice cars, and so it made me self-conscious a little bit. When I would go out with my friends and it would be time for them to bring me home, I'd get them to drop me off at my grandma's house because I didn't want them to see my house. So I didn't really grow up with a lot of nice stuff, didn't really ever have a nice house. My parents never had fancy cars, and I guess that's all superficial stuff, but it was something I was insecure about as a kid because, like I said, all my friends had really nice stuff, really nice houses. I had some trauma at home where, there were a lot of nights I had to protect my mom, for certain reasons. And so a lot of things I missed out on as a kid because I didn't want to leave the house because I felt like, I had to be the man and the protector at such an early age. And so that kind of really is what kind of drove me to tell myself like, hey, I'm never going to end up in that situation, and I'm going to do it whatever I can to take care of my mom. And that's always kind of stuck with me, and I feel like that's the reason why today, I do the things I do, I put up with the things I put up with to get me where I need to go to, accomplish those things.
What else do you think led you to working with Mike?
So, one of really good friends of mine and kind of a guy that's been a huge mentor to me my entire life is Sean Merrill. I've kind of worked with Sean in his business since I was like 18 years old. And he's always really been someone that, like, he's the type of guy that when he tells me something and I'm learning from him, for whatever reason, it just sticks. And I've learned a lot. He's helped me expand my vision. He's helped me realize that goals that I had in my life that seemed unattainable are not actually unattainable. And so I connected with my friend. I saw his pay stub, and I always go to Sean for advice. So I call Sean and I'm like, hey, Sean, I'm possibly about to pursue an opportunity selling cars over at Direct Auto with my buddy. And he was like, Direct Auto? Like for Michael West? And I was like, yeah, Michael West. Do you know Michael? And he was like, oh man. He was like, that guy is about to work your dick in the dirt. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he proceeded to be like, just let me know that Michael West was going to change my life basically, and was going to hold me to a standard that I'd never been held to before, and how he thought at the point in my life in the guidance that I was searching for, he told me that Direct Auto was probably the perfect place to be and grow as a man and find the things that I was searching for to help change my life. So hearing something like that from Sean, someone that I really, really trust and really give a lot of respect to, that kind of sealed the deal for me right there. I was like, okay. And he was like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to get really uncomfortable. You know, and at the time, that's what I was looking for. Yes, I was still super nervous because I'm not great at getting uncomfortable. But I knew at that point in my life I needed to do something. And just hearing that from Sean, I was like, okay, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason. And so hearing Sean say that, I was like, okay, that's definitely what I need to do.
What stands out the most to you about Mike?
I would say probably his just like, Michael's just unwavering dedication to his craft and to his word. I've never met someone that is so like, there's just no, you're never going to catch Michael slipping. If he says he's going to do something, like he remembers that he told you he was going to do that, and there is no way he's going to let you catch him slipping. Like he does what he says he's going to do. He shows up every single day. The years that I've worked here, he's never missed a day. And he's just so like, in order to work for Michael, you have to be ready to, like when I say change your life, you have to be ready to do the things you say you're going to do. And I have a great example of that. And I don't know if I'm getting too far ahead here because this maybe answers another question you may ask me. But so I worked for Michael for, let's say, a year and a half, right? And, you know, I'm pretty self-aware. I kind of already knew in my life I was the guy that would always hype people up around me about things that I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do that. And I never ended up doing them. I always fell short. I always ended up giving up before I reached the pot of gold. And no one in my life ever brought that to my attention and said, dude, you're writing checks your ass can't cash. You're always saying you're going to do these things and you never do them. And, you know, I have an ego. And when Mike pointed that out to me, it stung a little bit. And I was like, damn, he's right. And so Mike is not afraid to call you on your shit. He's not going to be a yes man. He's not going to let you get through life living a lie. And up until that point, really, I was living a lie. I believed that I was going to do all these things and I never did them. And then, like I said, a year and a half into this job, you know, there was talks about someone moving up to sales manager. And I knew that, you know, I wanted to be a leader and I would love that role. And Mike basically was like, Matt, I don't believe anything you're telling me. You know, I'll believe it when I see it. And like I said, that stung a lot, and I ruminated on that. And it was bothering me. And I just remember waking up one day, and I just had enough. And I texted Mike, and I'm trying to think of exactly what I said. I said something along the lines of, Mike, I'm sick and tired of not doing what I say I'm going to do. From this day moving forward, I'm going to change my life. Like this is it. I'm not bullshitting anymore. I'm sick of not doing what I say I'm going to do. I don't even need you to reply to this text message. I'm just letting you know right now that today moving forward, you're going to see a new Matt. And from that day, I finally did something that I said I was going to do. I started doing everything that Mike asked me to do. I started killing it. And next thing I know, I'm promoted to sales manager because he told me that's exactly the type of person he was looking for. So,
was there something in particular that you did that made Mike choose you to be the sales manager?
I just started taking accountability. I stopped making excuses. I started showing up and retaining information, paying attention while we're training, and just really just locking in and being serious about what I'm doing and not just blowing smoke up people's asses anymore. And actually just, like I said, just keeping my word and doing what I said I was going to do. And not just really ultimately not making excuses and just getting after it.
What did the process of you becoming sales manager look like?
It was a bumpy process, for sure. I had never. So first of all, I mean, it was a year and a half into car sales, and I'm getting promoted to sales manager. My first ever car sales job, really my first kind of real sales job. And so super new to the game. You know, typically sales managers have been in the car business for years and years and years. And so they have a lot of experience under their belt. So not only was I a little bit new in the car scene, but I've never managed anybody like that before. I've never managed a team, or, you know, especially a team at Direct Auto that has such a high standard. So, you know, this ain't no regular Joe Schmo job. This is like, I got to hold people to a standard that, you know, Mike's always told me that if you want to hold somebody to a standard, you have to be that standard times 10. And so I had to step my game up, and don't let me lie to you and say that it was easy by any means, because it absolutely was not. And I mean, for the first probably 6 months, I was getting my head beat in. I don't know how to get these guys to listen to me and do what I need to do. You know, I was struggling even holding myself to the same standard that I'm trying to hold everybody else to. And, you know, having really, really hard conversations with Michael about the things that I'm doing wrong and the things that I'm not up to par on. And, you know, a lot of those conversations, which had to be had, a lot of people would have folded for sure. Wouldn't have been able to handle that heat. The kitchen was getting real, real hot. And I know for a fact other people would have said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not taking this. I can't handle this. This isn't worth it. But again, and this kind of goes back to, you know, me saying that I'm going to change my life. I'm going to stop blowing smoke up people's asses. Like, I've committed to this at this point. I have now adopted this new personality to where I'm not making excuses. I'm not giving up anymore. So I told Mike I was going to do it, and there wasn't going to be nothing that was going to happen that was going to make me quit. Not to say that quitting didn't run through my brain, because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm the guy for this. I don't know if I can handle this. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew, but I stuck with it. And ultimately I've gained a lot of experience and knowledge. And I'm finally to a point now to where I feel like I have a good foot forward. Now, I absolutely still have a lot to learn. There's a lot of things that I have to get better at and perfect. But, you know, sticking it out and making it this long, I feel like it was 1000% worth it.
How would you describe Mike's professionalism and communication style?
Professionalism and communication style. So, Mike's communication style, let's start there. It's a little bit different. It is not for the weak-hearted. And how do I say this? It's not that, like, you know, somebody that doesn't know Mike would call him an asshole, would say he's a dick. Oh, I'm never going to let someone talk to me like that. But when you really get to know Mike, and you know that it's all out of love. As harsh as it might be in the moment, it's all out of love, and it's only because he wants to make you better. He truly does. And he tells you what you need to hear. A lot of people don't want to hear that. And Mike doesn't care that. I don't want to say he doesn't care about your feelings, because that makes him sound like a bad person. But if hurting your feelings is going to make you a better person and make you better at your job and help you make more money, he doesn't care about your feelings. He's not going to coddle you. Excuse me. He's not going to, what we like to say, put on the kitty gloves with you. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to be super real. So communication style, like with his close employees, it's a little rough around the edges, but it's exactly what you need to hear when you need to hear it. He doesn't procrastinate. If there's a problem, he's solving that problem right then and there. He is not postponing it. He's not putting it off. And you're going to have a conversation about it. And until that problem is resolved and you understand 100% what is being communicated, you're going to have a long conversation until that happens. And no one will leave a conversation with Michael West confused. If you are confused, he will figure out and communicate it in a way where you are no longer confused. And if you're still confused, you better ask clarifying questions, because if you leave that conversation and you let him believe that you understand, and then he finds out later that you didn't understand that conversation, you're going to have another one, and it's not going to be probably as fun as the first one. But professionalism, I mean, super professional. He always like his awareness and people around him, he always carries himself in a certain way, very professional, always talks to, like, especially like customers. He is just always, he has a servant's attitude. Let me put it that way. Servant's attitude. He's there to help the customer. And just always aware, like if he's talking to a certain customer, he's aware that there's other customers around. He's not going to say something to one customer that another customer could hear and potentially take it out of perspective. So he's super wise in his choice of words, and knows how to get his point across very thoroughly and very professionally, just all the time.
Do you believe you would be where you are now, professionally and as a man, had you not met Mike and taken this job?
Do I believe I'd be where I'm at now? I'm going to have to say yes to that, but not near as quick as I've been able to accomplish where I'm at in life right now. I think working for Mike and all the experience that he has, that he's passed on to me, I've been able to definitely take a huge shortcut to where I'm at right now. If I would have done it somewhere else or on my own, it would have taken me, I mean, way longer. And one of Mike's things that he always tells me is, you know, what took me 20 years, I want it to take you 10, or what took me 10 years, I want it to take you 5. So, yeah, I mean, the way Mike just pours into his people definitely is a fast track to getting where you want to be in life, for sure.
Would you recommend Mike to others? And if so, why?
Would I recommend him to others? Probably. It depends on who I'm talking to. Because like I said, it's not everybody would be able to handle working for Mike. Because a lot of people aren't going to be willing to go through the uncomfortableness, and I use the word pain just because, like, it's things you have to go through. They're painful. People don't like getting uncomfortable. People don't like being held to this high standard. And I'm not talking about physical pain, but pain as in just uncomfortableness. So I absolutely would recommend Mike to somebody, but it'd have to be the right person. Because, I mean, people that I know which ones wouldn't be able to handle it.
Before working with Mike, what were you looking for or hoping to solve?
So before working with Michael, I was working a job that was supposed to be a temporary job until I found something better. That temporary job ended up lasting 3 years. I was working with my buddy. It was a pool company. It wasn't a corporate job, so it was chill. Like I said, I was working with my buddy, a couple of my buddies. So I mean, it was fun, but it wasn't getting me to where I wanted to go in life. So I mean, deep down the whole time, I knew that this wasn't where I was supposed to be, to, you know, get me to where I need to be. So really, I was kind of, I'm old school. You know, men are the providers. I wasn't making enough money to be a provider. And, you know, I had a serious girlfriend turned into fiance. You know, We both wanted to have children, so I knew that that wasn't really necessarily going to be a possibility working that job. So I knew I had to step up and find something that could help me accomplish those goals. So looking to be a better husband, a better partner, and obviously looking to make some more money.
What was it about Mike that made you want to stick with him?
So, I mean, Michael is who I want to be. He's accomplished all the things I want to accomplish. I know that I've always been told never to burn a bridge, and Michael is definitely someone that I would never want to burn a bridge with, because Michael's the type of person. Michael's not just helping me for his benefit. Michael's not just trying to help me be good at selling cars. He's not just trying to help me be good at being a sales manager. Michael is changed my life in every aspect of my life. He's helped me become a better man. He's helped me become a better husband. He's helped me become true to my word. And all of those things have affect my life way outside of just being a good, salesperson or manager at a car dealership. And I know that Mike wants more for me and my family than just what the car business can provide. He wants me to be financially free one day. He wants to help me, set up my family's future financially. I mean, any business endeavor or investment or anything that I want to do in my life, I know that he can guide me and help me through all of that. So, I mean, even if I didn't work at Direct Auto, I would still hopefully have a very good and strong relationship with Michael.
What has your overall experience been like working with Mike?
My overall experience, let me tell you, it's probably was the wildest roller coaster that I can think of. Space Mountain, maybe, or Guardians of the Galaxy in Disney World. You have your highs, you have your lows. Your highs are super high, your lows are super low. It's just a lot of, when you want to grow in life and get better, you got to get uncomfortable. It's going to be painful. You're going to go through things that you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. And to wake up every single day and hold yourself to a standard that Michael holds you to and that he holds himself to every day, like I keep saying, it's not for everybody. Not everybody is equipped to be able to handle that much pressure every single day. Like, it forces you to be better. It forces you to become a better person. So, my overall experience with Michael is just, I know that at the end of the day, if I don't give up, I'm gonna get to where I want to be. I'm gonna crush all the goals I have in my life and be able to provide for my family and do all the things that I want to do. So, the overall experience, it's been hard. It's been awesome. It's been everything in between. I've experienced probably every emotion you can experience working at Direct Auto. So it's definitely it's an experience for sure.
What sets Mike apart from others?
So I always like to tell Mike that he's special. He will never claim it. He says he's not special. He's not different than anybody else, but I beg to differ, because if I could be 50% of Michael, I would be a bajillionaire. It's just, man, he's just like, I always tell people I've never met anyone like him. People ask me about Michael. I don't know how to articulate what he's like. And I just tell people, like, you just have to meet the guy. You have to meet him. There's nothing that I can say to you that would make you understand Michael. He is just like, again, like I said before, if he says he's going to do something, you can bet your ass he's doing it. Excuse my French. He shows up every day, sick or whatever the case may be. He's here. He knows he is a problem solver. If there is a problem, Michael will find a solution. It doesn't matter what it is, what problems you're having in business, or just whatever. He is super creative. He's got a super high eye, so he can he can find solutions to problems. Super creative when it comes to that stuff, thinking outside the box.
Can you tell us what a super high I is?
So we have a culture index assessment that we have everybody take. All of the new hires, people that we're thinking about hiring, we have them take this assessment. And one of the things that it scores you on is ingenuity. So when I say high I, the higher your I, the more ingenuitive you are. The lower, obviously, the less. So I know he's higher on the scale in ingenuity. I'm lower than he is, and he loves to let me know that. And he loves to tell new people that meet me to call me a low I, because he knows it bothers me and makes me mad, and he thinks it's hilarious. So I've had to tone down my ego a little bit and try to find the humor in it. He's helped me with that. So yeah, he's super intelligent. There's if I'm having a problem, again, I keep going back to problem solving, but if I'm having an issue or a problem or something, there's nothing that I feel like I can't go to Mike about that he can't help me solve. He's got a solution for everything. And if he doesn't have the solution at the time, his due diligence and his work ethic and his thoroughness, he's going to find the solution. He's not going to hesitate. He's going to find it quickly. So, yeah.
Can you share a specific result, outcome, or moment that has stood out to you within your relationship or time knowing him?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that when I first started here, one of the things that he talked about was growing, and we were going to grow, and we were all going to grow together, and I've grown. I'm his sales manager now. He always told us we were going to have more dealerships. We have more dealerships now. We have a franchise store in Forest, Mississippi, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. I know he's constantly on the move, looking at other dealerships. He's looking at one in Louisiana, I believe. I think you went and looked at one in Tennessee. So, I mean, he said we were going to grow, and I'm getting to be a part of it and watch this company grow firsthand.
What is the overall impact Mike has had on your life?
So it has impacted me personally, I mean, tremendously. So like I said prior, I had a job that I was working that was supposed to be a temporary job. I was making like $600 a week or something like that, 1099. So I had to save some of that 600 to pay taxes at the end of the year. So really wasn't making a whole lot of money at all. Me and my fiance at the time, I don't think we were married yet. We were living on her parents' property. They had like a little mother-in-law suite, cottage, whatever you want to call it, a little 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, like probably 800 square foot box, which, I mean, super grateful for that. It did the job. It was perfect for that time in our life, but I knew I wanted more. And so, without really kind of sounding like I'm trying to boast, I went from that to buying a home for my family, purchasing my wife a new car, purchasing myself a new truck. We have a daughter that we're able to support. Growing up, I was never able to go on vacations. Seeing all my friends go on vacations all the time, seeing them go to Disney World was a big one. My daughter's 2 years old, and I've been able to take her to Disney World. We have another Disney World trip scheduled in September of this year, I believe. My wife loves Disney World. Her and her family go 3 or 4 times a year. My wife literally took a day trip to Disney World last Monday and spent all day. Flew there in the morning, spent the day at Magic Kingdom with her friend, and then flew back that night, if that tells you how much she loves Disney World. My daughter's obsessed with Elsa and Anna and all the princesses. So they get to share that together. That's really, really cool to see. And being able to financially support that and take my family to Disney World, knowing how much they love it and how much my wife and my daughter can kind of share that love together. I mean, I just wouldn't be able to do those things if it wasn't for Direct Auto and Michael. So, I mean, I pray a lot. I have a personal relationship with Jesus. So all the things growing up and being a young adult, all the things that I've prayed for, wanting to accomplish, I've been able to do that in such a short amount of time. It's honestly unreal. And people that I come in contact with that maybe I haven't really seen in a little bit of time, they ask me how my life is, and I mean, my only answer is blessed. Like, life is good, life is great. I have nothing to complain about, and I'm just blessed. And people get tickled when I give them that answer, because typically people don't give that kind of answer. So yeah, just blessed.
What is your message to someone that might want to learn from Mike?
I guess I would say, really, I would say the biggest game changer for me, and what I know a lot of other people could get out of Mike, is accountability. Mike's super big on accountability, and that's one of those things where people love to kind of, I guess, cope and give excuses for things in life. And working for Michael, he holds you to such a high standard and such high accountability that you actually begin to realize how much in life you actually have control over. And I can give a perfect example of that. I'm on the way to work one day. I'm sitting at a red light, and someone hits me from behind, and I'm sitting at a red light. And in my head, I'm like, I'm late for work now. In my head, I'm like, not my fault. Someone hit me from behind. And then that scenario turns into an interview question that we ask people that we interview to see if they're going to say if it's their fault or the person behind them's fault. And I learned very quickly that was still my fault. I should have been aware of my surroundings. I should have been looking in the rearview mirror. I should have seen that car coming. I should have moved out of the way. I should have ran the red light. I should have left my house earlier and never been at that red light in the first place. So he really breaks it down that much to where, yes, legally it's not my fault because I didn't hit the person, I got hit. But in reality, there are things that I could have done and take accountability for and gotten out the way and left work early. So when he breaks it down to you like that, and you take that scenario and you apply that to other things in your life, you're like, wait a minute. Maybe I did have more control in that situation that I thought I didn't. I blamed that scenario on that person, but if I look in the mirror, did I do everything that I could have done or I should have done to get the outcome that I wanted in that scenario? And once you can truly adopt that mentality and take that amount of accountability for things, you can really start to change your life and see things in your life going in your favor because you have more control over them. And I would say that that's probably one of the biggest things people can get from Michael is adopting that mentality and taking more accountability for their actions and decisions.
Describe Mike West in one word.
Intense.
Who is Mike West to you?
Michael West to me is a role model for sure. He embodies everything. I mean, he's everything that I would want to be. I mean, he's accountable. He's rich. He's respectable. He's a businessman. He's a good father, a good husband. he has all the characteristics that a man really would want to encompass. I mean, yeah.